More than 390 people signed a petition asking Prime Minister Lawrence Wong to reject Muhammad Faishal Ibrahim's resignation. But here is the important detail. By the time the petition appeared, the resignation had already been accepted. That makes this more than a story about saving one political career. It has become a public debate over whether a politician's past service should outweigh a serious lapse in personal judgment. Faishal resigned on July 20th from all his political roles. He stepped down as acting minister in charge of Muslim affairs, senior minister of state for home affairs, member of parliament for Marine Parade-Braddell Heights GRC, and a member of the People's Action Party. In his resignation letter, Faishal said the matter involved his conduct with a female member of the public. He stated that there was no physical relationship between them. He also said he had not intended for their interactions to develop into one. However, after reflecting on what happened, he accepted that his conduct had fallen below the standards expected of him. Prime Minister Lawrence Wong later provided more context. The Prime Minister's office had received an email from the woman about a month earlier. The matter was examined immediately. Faishal and the woman were spoken to separately. Most of their interactions had taken place through online messages. They had also met on the sidelines of public events. Both sides later made harassment allegations against each other. The matter was referred to the police. After investigations and consultation with the Attorney General's chambers, the authorities assessed that neither person had committed a criminal offense. No criminal action will be taken against either party. That finding matters because it separates two very different questions. The first is whether a law was broken. The official conclusion was no. The second is whether Faishal met the standards expected of a minister and member of parliament. That is not purely a legal test. Political leaders hold positions of authority, influence, and public trust. Their conduct can be judged against professional and ethical expectations even when it does not cross the line into criminal behavior. Faishal accepted that distinction and resigned. The online petition argues that Prime Minister Wong should not allow him to leave public service. Its creator described Faishal as an experienced and capable leader whose departure could disrupt relationships and ongoing community work. The petition set a target of 10,000 signatures. Within about a day of his resignation, it had collected more than 390. That shows that some people strongly value Faishal's record and believe he deserves another chance. He spent around 2 decades in public service. His work included community resilience, support for vulnerable families, and the rehabilitation and reintegration of former offenders. Some residents and community figures also described him as approachable, responsive, and committed to helping people. Those views should not be dismissed. A public figure can make a serious mistake while still having contributed meaningfully over many years. But the petition also has clear limitations. The website does not appear to require signatories to prove that they are Singapore residents. The total number, therefore, cannot be treated as a verified measure of national opinion. It also cannot tell us how many people signed after reading the full official account. An online petition captures the views of people motivated enough to participate. It is not the same as a scientific poll, an election, or a formal public consultation. There is another practical issue. The Prime Minister had already accepted Faishal's resignation before the petition gained attention. Zaqy Mohamad was appointed to take over as acting minister in charge of Muslim affairs. The remaining members of parliament in Marine Parade-Braddell Heights GRC will continue serving residents in Kembangan. So the petition may be more powerful as a statement of public feeling than as a realistic route to reversing the decision. Still, its appearance reveals an important disagreement over accountability. One view is that resignation was necessary because political standards lose their meaning if they are not enforced when tested. Under this view, experience and good service cannot erase conduct that falls below expectations. The other view is that accountability does not always have to mean the complete end of a person's public career. Supporters may believe that an apology, transparency, and a chance for voters or community leaders to judge him would have been more proportionate. Former nominated Member of Parliament Calvin Chung made a similar argument. He suggested that Faishal should apologize and be transparent, while allowing the public and community leaders to decide how he should be treated. That proposal raises its own questions. Public office is not only about popularity. A leader may remain well-liked while still failing an institutional standard. At the same time, a system that leaves no path for rehabilitation may discourage honest admission and personal responsibility. The difficult part is deciding where the balance should sit. Singapore has long placed strong emphasis on the conduct of political office holders. That expectation is closely connected to public trust. When leaders enforce rules, shape national policy, and represent communities, people expect their behavior to match the authority they hold. Swift consequences can reassure the public that standards are applied seriously. But public trust also depends on fairness. People need enough verified information to understand why a decision was made. In this case, the official statement disclosed the broad nature of the interactions, the separate interviews, the police investigation, and the finding that no criminal offense was committed. It did not publish the private messages or every detail behind the judgment. That protects privacy, but it also leaves space for different interpretations. Some people may feel the resignation was appropriate based on Faishal's own admission. Others may believe they do not know enough to judge whether permanent political departure was necessary. This is where the petition becomes significant. Its importance is not mainly the number 390. Its importance is that a group of people is openly challenging the idea that resignation should be the final answer. They are asking whether long service, remorse, and the absence of criminal wrongdoing should leave room for a second chance. There is also a community impact. Faishal held the Muslim affairs portfolio and represented residents in Kembangan. Leadership changes can create uncertainty for ongoing cases, community partnerships, and local programs. Some residents may worry about whether their concerns will still receive proper attention. Government continuity therefore matters. The appointment of Zaqy Mohamad and the commitment by the remaining GRC MPs are intended to prevent a gap in service. The bigger test will be whether that transition feels smooth to residents and community organizations on the ground. This case also shows how political accountability now unfolds in two places at once. The formal decision happens within institutions. The public response develops online through petitions, posts, and commentary. Those two processes can move at very different speeds. An official decision may be completed within hours. Public opinion may continue shifting for days or weeks as more people debate what happened. The petition does not prove that most Singaporeans want Faishal back. It does prove that his resignation has not produced a single, uncontested public reaction. The fairest reading is that two things can be true at the same time. Faishal can be respected for years of service. His conduct can also fall below the standard required of his office. Recognizing his contributions does not require ignoring his mistake. Supporting accountability does not require denying that people can learn, rebuild, trust, and contribute again in another form. The sharpest issue is therefore not whether Faishal was entirely good or entirely bad. It is whether political accountability should focus mainly on immediate consequences or also provide a credible path towards rehabilitation after responsibility has been accepted. Do you think accepting the resignation protected public trust? Or should Faishal have been given another way to answer directly to the people? For more clear and balanced Singapore explainers, support 2230 by liking this video, sharing it with someone who follows local affairs, and subscribing to the channel.